Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm gonna do an album review on the new 21 Pilots album, Trench. Yes, 21 Pilots, they are back. Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn, a pop, rap, rock duo from the USA, and they're back. And their previous albums, Vessel and Blurry Face, didn't blow me away all that much because they weren't really that good, especially the album Blurry Face, which I find kind of overrated because to me it just sounds like watered down, dumbed down, corny, goofy mixes of pop, rap, and rock that are super lowest common denominator. So I didn't really care for Blurry Face at all. But this album, Trench, this is where they changed their sound up a little bit and make some really, really good music. And what really made me curious and look forward to this album are the teaser tracks, which are surprisingly good, and it doesn't sound like anything that 21 Pilots had done before. So that kind of gave me the hope that I needed for listening to their new album, Trench, and it doesn't let me down. This album is really, really good. In fact, I think it's great. I think it's kind of great. It's not I guess Death Grips Radiohead great, but it's still pretty great. Because this album has way catchier hooks. It sounds way edgier, but at the same time without being too cringy or corny. The songwriting is way more grimmer. The concept is amazing. The instrumentals are way deeper. You can really tell that they pay way more attention to the details in the instrumentals. The production is fantastic, and the overall tone of the album is way more vibrant and grittier. And speaking of the concept, damn, the concept of this album is fantastic. And so I don't want to explain too much. You can go ahead and watch the video essays on 21 Pilots, or you can, learn about the concept of the album through all the Easter eggs that they have sort of laid all over. But I'm going to explain a little bit. So Clancy is the protagonist of the album, and he had grown up on this city called Dima for a while, for a huge part of his childhood, until one day when he grows up, he realized that he was trapped in Dima, in this system. So he wanted to break free and have free thinking and be independent and grow up. And that's when he meets the Banditos, which are who are basically the rebels against Dima. And there are also 9 bishops in Dima, which some people theorize as the 9 circles on the cover for Blurry Face. But one of them is Nico, and Nico is actually in real life like 9 Italian mathematicians or something, but it's also said to be one of the 9 bishops of Dima, and Clancy must break free, Clancy must break free. The album starts off with the track Jumpsuit, which is a roaring album opener with the very loud and soaring and deep and heavy guitars. The drums and the bass are really, I guess, adrenaline pumping. They sound like horse riding. And we also get these moody, eerie synths when we transition into these more quieter verses, I guess. And we also get these echo sound effects that really builds the atmosphere.
Jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me. Jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me.
And the bridge of the track is really beautiful. We get Tyler Joseph with his sweet, sweet falsetto, and it's very beautiful, it's very calming, until it just builds up to such a high climax towards the end, where Tyler screams his brains off, yelling, "Jumpsuit, jumpsuit, cover me!" And, man, the music video attached to the song is really just, it sends chills, really. It gives me goosebumps. It's really, really epic. The cinematography, the color palettes of the thing, and when the Banditos were sort of throwing these yellow flower petals all over Clancy and the dude on the white horse, it was spine-chilling. And then Clancy was like, wait a second, I shouldn't be following this dude on the white horse. And he yelled, and he just 180-degree turned and ran away. And I shouldn't get too excited about 21 Pilots, but damn, this song is good. And I just wish that there are more tracks like this on the track listing that are more heavy and hard-hitting and more loud, I guess. Then we have the second track, Levitate, which is in my opinion even better than Jumpsuit.
The smirk and after's blood, the circling above, but this is not enough. Yeah, this is not what you thought. No, beyond, not just graffiti on a passing train. I got back what I once bought back in that slide. I won't need to replace this.
The production is amazing. It's very smooth. It's very flawless. We get these tight, punchy drum loops and these very beautiful and lavishing, stuttering synths. And Tyler Joseph's verse on this thing is really smooth, really tight, really flawless. His flow is excellent. And the lyrics, they are not just any rap lyrics ever. They are, it's, you know, again, Clancy is the protagonist, right? So Tyler is probably rapping on the standpoint of him and Clancy, so he learned how to fire breathe since 7th grade, and he learned to levitate with just a little help. And the lyrics, they're just really wondrous, really intriguing, and the way it's played out, it's really amazing. It really hooks me in as well. And I also really like the topic being discussed in the track, you know, the celebrity culture and all. And but if you, I guess, subject the concept onto the track is also somehow about rebellion, and it also somehow reflects the socio-political climate of the whole Dima situation. But yeah, the music video, it's great. Once again, you know, we see all these banditos holding torches and they're just rocking out and jamming out with 21 Pilots. It's pretty amazing. And then we have the third track, Morph, which is a pretty atmospheric, catchy pop rock song that I love. Once again, it has a very nice stuttery beat, and I also really love the chorus, which is a little more glam and a little more atmospheric. And the track is catchy as hell. The chorus is catchy as hell. The instrumentations are more soulful and jazzy, and this track sort of deals with identity crisis. I morph to someone else.
If I keep moving, they won't know. I'm off to someone else. What they throw with me too slow. I'm off to someone else. I'm just a ghost.
The fourth track, My Blood, is even slower, even moodier, but yet it is still a guitar banger. And damn, the bass line is very grimy, the drums are crispy and tight, and we get these very exciting disco beats in the chorus, which is amazing, and Tyler Joseph's falsetto is amazing.
Stay with me. No, you don't need to run. Stay with me. My blood. You don't need to run.
And the only issue that I have with this track is actually the music video. I just wish that it would, I guess, tie into the whole Dima and Clancy and Bandito concept a little more, maybe, but still, great track. And then we have the track Chlorine, which has a very catchy and infectious hook, and the track overall sounds very intoxicating, And the reasons being is that it sounds kind of off-key, a little more flat. And we also get these reverb sound effects that just makes the track sound way more entrancing and intoxicating. And the verses are incredibly dreamy and psychedelic. It's amazing.
Sipping on straight chlorine, loving what I'm tasting. Venom on my tongue, depending at time.
However, the album dives down into a bit of a low with the track Smithereens, which is a small, cute, little quaint love song about devotion and love. And I guess the track is a little too flat, a little too bland, and a little too watered down.
For you, I go step to a dude much bigger than me.
But it still doesn't sound all that bad. I mean, it's not that bad. There's a funny verse on the track, and it's sort of like a fourth wall break, and I do kind of like that. And then we have the track Neon Gravestones, which is lyrically the most interesting of the entire album, because it's a song about the glorification of suicide and how if you would have killed yourself, if you would have died, maybe people would recognize your art, your work even more. And on this track, Tyler Joseph also talks about his own suicidal thoughts, and he kind of talked about how if he would have, I guess, lost to his own suicidal thoughts, how would things turn out?
Neon gravestones try to call. Neon gravestones try to call for my bones cold.
And it's deep, it's heavy, and hard-hitting. And the chorus of this track is very fluttery, but yet at the same time it's very, I guess, heavy and hard-hitting. It sounds like sinking down a sea of goo, and it's slowly swallowing you, and you'll never be back on land. And that's downtrodden. And I also like the crankling, cluttering hi-hats on this track. I think they add a lot to the overall texture. And then we have the track The Hype, which has a surprisingly celebratory instrumentals. And that's kinda cool, because the last line on Neon Gravestones is something about celebrating, and then immediately the next track we get a track that sounds like celebrating. And it's sort of this 90s pop rock throwback track with a loud and gargantuous chorus that's really, really catchy. And the topic of the track is a little blurry, though. It's a little obscured. It's about friendships, but it's also about not believing in the hype. Just don't believe the hype, and you'll be just fine. Just don't believe the hype. And I don't know. I don't know what this track is really about. But the next track is Nico and the Niners, and it sort of goes back to the whole Dima Clancy concept thing. First of all, I love the mellow guitars sample. It's amazing. It's great. And overall, the track is very catchy and very thoughtful. The rapping is great, and it sort of makes a reference back to the Jumpsuit track. I'm higher when I'm heavy, I'm lighter when I'm lower, or something like that. And East is up. And when Tyler's saying East is up, I think he's referring to the east side of Dima, where the Banditos are active, or something like that. And it's exciting.
East is up, I'm fearless when I hear this on the low. East is up, I'm careless when I wear my rebel clothes.
However, the track Cut My Lip isn't as interesting or as hard-hitting as the other tracks on the track listing. To me, it just sounds like a watered-down pop reggae track with nothing all that special about it. It has a stiff, bland beat and some dubbed pianos, Even though it doesn't sound all that bad because the production is amazing, but the tune, the melody itself, it's just lackluster. I mean, why are you doing this? Then we have the track Bandito, which has some very heavy lyrics about going on the high road. I'm a bandito, and the instrumentals are very airy and hollow and dreamy, and the vocals are sort of muffled, and it just sounds very downtrodden.
I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a bandito.
And I also really like one of the lines on this track about how Tyler is singing on his, I guess, Tyler is singing on the perspective of Clancy probably, but also on his own perspective. Quote to quote, I created this world to feel some control, destroy it if I want. And I think this line says a lot about, I guess, maybe Tyler's overall, I guess, aim and objective for the concept of the album maybe, but who knows. But still, the track doesn't sound all that bad. I still like the track a lot. And then we have Pet Cheetah, which is a highlight on the album. Oh my gosh. First of all, the first thing you're going to notice when listening to the track is the strange, whack, squeaky beat. It's really freaky and eccentric. But as the track transitions into the chorus, it sounds almost completely different. It becomes very beautiful and sort of sad and hard-hitting, but very catchy. I move slow, I wanna stop time.
This dude can make him afraid of his music and be scared to death he could lose it.
No, I move slow, I wanna stop time. I'll sit here till I find the problem.
And the track is really about the writer's block and Tyler's creative process. And I think it's a very interesting, intriguing track with some awesome fire beat and amazing vocals. And then we have the track Legend, which is a sort of a laid-back breather track in the track listing, because it's not as concept heavy as any other tracks on the album. The synths are very nice on this thing. My least favorite track here is Smithereens, and my favorite track here is Levitate. I am giving 21 Pilots Trench an 8 out of 10. So, have you listened to the new 21 Pilots album? From 1 to 10, how much would you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And this lollipop is lime flavored. Yes.